giving me the mic. I would say to Melody, but where is Melody? Yeah, okay. That you're very committed to your work, obviously. And I will give the mic to Janine.
Janine, you're muted. Very strange.
Thank you. Clicks never worked first time. So I would say to Laure that you are conscientious with a deep and caring sense of responsibility. So it was lovely to learn that. I will pass to Marie. Oh, yes, Marine.
Marine, yes, thank you, Janine. So I will say to Linda that you are very dedicated and a very good listener as well. I have to choose another people.
Yeah, you can try maybe with Elodie. She's available.
Elodie, but yeah,
Elodie,
try to
are you
unmute
here
now. See if we can do it. Yep, looks good. You're unmuted now for us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I wanted to thank Janine because she made me feel very comfortable.
And who you pass on to?
Hello?
And Jenny gave a thumbs up if you didn't see. And who do you pass it to? This is going to be.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. Maybe you don't hear us. But yeah, who didn't reply yet? So Robin, you can be next, and Gwen. Robin, you first.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I would like Queen to say that you are strong and confident, and I feel very safe in your presence. And I will pass on the mic to Karima.
Sorry. Just looking for my micro. Sorry. To Nguyen, thank you for your smile, but thank you also thank you because you trust me by sharing very personal and deep things during our sessions. And I will pass the word to, I don't know who didn't spoke, Laure?
Yes, thanks. So I acknowledge that Leila is a very good listener and very good at championing. And I will pass it on to Lydie. I think you didn't talk.
Yeah, no, I didn't talk. And so I wanted to tell you, Laure, actually, that I noticed that you are highly professional and caring about MSF expatriates. And then I will pass it to Anne-Laure.
You're muted, Anne-Laure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to acknowledge the fact that Marine was actually a very good coach by keeping the right distance and not giving advice, but helping me to structure my plan of action. So she was very disciplined. Thank you for that.
Cool.
And who didn't speak yet?
Leila.
Thank you, Anne-Laure. I would like to acknowledge the great empathy of Laure and Lydie, both of them. I'm doing like Linda, choosing two.
That's cool. Both of you,
thank you
then.
very much. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody who didn't speak yet, apart from Elodie? Yes, Gwen.
Yes, so same. I will. So Linda and Karima, thank you for your sincerity, your empathy, both of you, and the fact that we, with these qualities of yours, we created a very safe and cozy discussion space.
All
And
right,
Alexandra, and then I think that's it.
yeah, Alexandra.
Yeah, thank you. Robin, I would like to thank you for your listening, and I acknowledge how committed you are to the coaching in itself, to being a coach.
All right, thank you. Yeah, Elodie has some serious
internet
connections, but I'll read it out. She wants to thank Janine for making me at ease and helping me solve some issues brought up with powerful questioning. So that's a great acknowledgement. Thank you for that, Elodie. Yeah, next we ask you again to fill a form on Tembo. So Connie, go ahead.
Yep. So just to go quickly over, looks like not a lot has changed from yesterday in terms, although it looks like more people are more at ease with more things in this second round of practicing. And that's great. That's great. And then with the challenging, also not the big change in terms of the distribution. Powerful questions are still number 2, and embodiment, metaphor, and geography is still the one that stumps you a little bit. You know, and I think that what's important here is both with the ones that you're feeling more at ease with and more of them, and the ones you know are still a challenge. The most important is just the consciousness of it. It will get better. It does get better. And I think you, at some point you saw that little video about the consciously, what is it? Unconsciously incompetent. And then you become, at some point you become conscious of, not knowing or getting better and better. And then if we go to the questions or remarks, there were much fewer this time. But basically the first, is it important or mandatory to get out with action and commitment to action at the end of each coaching session? Great question. There is something in coaching that is about getting somewhere, transforming to become, transforming to do. So on that level, it's important to think about the action and commitment. But an action and or a commitment could also be thinking about something, or even recognizing, or for the person to recognize when something happens, or, it doesn't have to be a concrete action, but it's not bad in the end of a coaching session to have something that gives them, a forward move. Keeping the questions as open as possible while still being relevant for the person. That to me is a reflection. I can just acknowledge, yes, that this is something that will still be something you're going to keep practicing, not to drive too much. So sort of, again, maybe the driving part is the working too hard. Who was it who, if someone wants to just unmic and or open your mic and mention something about what you were thinking here, if you remember who it was who said this or who put this down? Keeping the question as open as possible while still being relevant for the person. I was thinking not to drive too much. I wasn't sure what that meant.
Yeah, it was me. It was, but close question, like drive the discussion and do not leave the person going wherever her mind goes. So I found it still difficult to not try to be a solution finder, but to remain open and to let the person find their own way, and to not have something in my mind that orients them.
Yeah, perfect. And again, it's yes, this is going to be on, and you'll get it more and more. And the last one, I realized that yes, no questions are still there, and it's also complicated to get out of the story. And again, what from our side, it's mostly acknowledgement. You know, it's great to know about yourself. Still there, those yes, no questions. And it's still complicated to be coaching the person and not the story. I don't know whoever wrote it, if you want to add a comment or a question.
Yes, actually, it's me. So definitely the yes, no questions are the most easy for me. But I'm trying to be conscious of that and to be more on the open question. But then I realized yesterday that I would, I think, appreciate to do those exercises with people who are not at all with my background, HR. I found it super complicated not to get into the story because I'm an HR and because most of the time they were speaking about HR stories. And I think if I had like I don't know, an IT guy in front of me or someone like with a totally different job, it will be maybe for me less more easy to go on the solution, etc. So I find it great sense. More complicated.
Yeah, it makes there's pros and cons, let's say, but it makes great sense that there's a self-management in this one that is, you know, you recognize these things and you may even know more or less who we're talking about or whatever the context is so familiar. It's takes more self-management or certain kind of self-management to still be coaching the person and still be thinking about what's going on or letting that person, not even thinking, but just allowing the person to unfold things. Absolutely. So yes, you could practice on others as well. So it's, you know, those skills may be, they may be easier sometimes to use on people where you're not familiar with all of it, not colleagues, not the job, not definitely. Thanks, Linda.
All right, shall we then move on? And at the end, we have some room for some more questions.
Yeah.
Maybe you can show the next slide.
Yes. Yes.
So next, what we want to do with you, again, it's a relatively simple tool with 3 basic questions. So it's a very, very simple model that we will actually use for you to again practice those coaching skills. And it's also something that you potentially can use with people that, for example, want to find out, hey, what is it what I want to do in MSF or whatever place in their life. So it's around 3 simple questions. What am I passionate about? What am I good at? And what does MSF need, or my MSF? Because what MSF is, that can be your department, or it can be your OC, or it can be the broader MSF. And then the idea is that you find that little spot in the middle where those 3 circles are coming together. And that's then what you want to do, actually. So you like it, you're good at it, and it's also needed. So very simple questions, and we apply it to use as much the coaching skills. Connie is going to coach me for a few minutes on this, so to show you a bit how it's done, and then we will send you in groups of 2 for you to practice it. So Connie, you can stop share, and then we'll start.
Yes, let me see if I can get rid of the sharing. Okay, Richard. Just 1 second, I need to get myself. So, hi, Richard.
Hi, Connie again.
So in order to sort of get a little closer to what's going on for you right now, I wanted to ask you 3 different questions. And the first is, what is it that you're passionate about?
Well, I do those workshops sometimes a little bit too much, back to back. I did one last week and one again next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I notice more and more that I'm really passionate about teaching. Yeah, I really like teaching. So that's really what I'm passionate about.
Cool, cool. Teaching. So what else? What else are you passionate about?
Well, I am passionate about coaching also, but I notice more and more that also the teaching is. But yeah, of course now I'm teaching coaching skills, so that is the ultimate dream. But yeah, of course I love coaching and mentoring both.
Yeah, cool. Teaching, coaching, mentoring. What about in your private life? What are you passionate about?
It's definitely running, and I've been doing quite a bit. January was dry January, so I spent a lot of time on January on jogging, and now I really do 5 times a week. So that's what I'm passionate about, and it really clears my mind, my brain.
Okay, so running, teaching, cool, and of course coaching. All right, so I also want to know a little bit about your MSF. What is your MSF?
Yeah, but my MSF would be my MSF is the bigger picture of MSF. That's what my MSF would be.
And what would you say it needs, your MSF?
Yeah, what does MSF need? Maybe a little bit related to my passion is it needs to rely more on people. And what I hear from people when I mentor and coach is I want to develop and I want to grow in my role. And I think MSF should lead much more through growing people. And developing people rather than telling people what to do.
That makes great sense. Cool. Anything else that where your MSF needs something?
Of course, we're in an HR group, but really look more at people from the human side. That's what I really think. Yeah.
MSF needs. Cool. So then, what are you good at?
I think I like to bring clarity to MSF. So what I think I'm good at is to explain things in a way that people understand it actually. So to explain things to people.
Okay, all right. Anything else that you're good at?
I think I'm good in. Yeah, I think I'm good in planning and keeping an agenda. So I'm also good at getting things organized and have a good impression on how quick things can be done or not, so that I know things can be achieved within a certain frame.
Cool. All right, so we got a picture of these three. Let's see a little bit of geography. So the first one, you're passionate about teaching, running, coaching.
Yeah.
And then in your MSF, I can move a little bit just to look at your MSF, or do it on a page if you want with your finger, just to move around a little bit in these 3 circles. What I heard you say was the people need to be the center. In your MSF, people are the center. Relying on them, thinking about developing them, working on developing them. That's what is needed, huh?
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the final one, being good at explaining, being good at making things clear, but also good at planning. Very cool. So those are the 3 sort of realms that you've described. The question is, what does this lead you to do? Or what do you feel you can do now, seeing these 3?
Well, when exploring those 3 circles, for me, the little spot in the middle, or at least one step that I can do next is, I really got inspired by the human side, and to maybe bring this workshop to people, or elements of it, and it doesn't have to be in this exact format. But what I really sense that I need to do is to make this also more known to, for example, our national staff. So that would be one next step that I think I need to do for myself on, hey, maybe finding out first, is there a need for people also that have less access to different trainings in MSF would they be interested in that? And then maybe, maybe making use of tools like Tembo to reach out to them. That would be one thing that I like to do.
Do you have a concrete first step that you're going to do here and now, or within the next few days, let's say?
The next few days.
That's a yes/no question, but we're on the way to signing off here.
Well, one concrete thing that I want to do is I'm going to talk in my team, the Norway team, and I'm going to say, hey, I want to do a pilot with national staff only. That's probably one.
Yeah. Very concrete. I look forward to hearing about that. When am I going to hear about it?
Yeah, after next week. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you, Richard. I love that next step.
All right, thank you. So now it's your turn. So we'll paste the 3 questions in the chat. So we're not going to give you massive other instructions. So let me put it there. So around the 3 questions that you take with you in the chat, just coach each other, applying the 3 questions. You can move the questions. You can do, what am I passionate about? Then what am I good at? What does MSF need? There's no particular order, but maybe start with the passionate one, and then find that little spot in the middle, and at least what is one step you will do next. And it doesn't have to be very big. The tool is meant to practice your coaching skills, but it's in general very revealing to people to do something. We're going to give you 10 minutes each way, so you have sufficient time, and then again we'll tell you when you need to swap roles. And I need to add LOD. So we'll send you off now. And Robin, I'll send you to the group where also Elodie is, so you can support them a little bit with the process.
I have a feeling LOD will be in and out, so,
so
it'll be the internet you'll be coping with.
In that group. So you have 20 minutes, 10 minutes each way. We tell you when there's 2 minutes left, and we tell you when to swap roles. So see you in 20 minutes.
So just a quick debrief on this. Any perspectives? How might you think of using this? Well, the classic question,
so
what have you learned?
Is wanting to talk. I was going to write it down, but if I may start, I personally thought it was very, very useful, actually, because it's very positive kind of thinking, and I think we need more of this in our current environment. So I think, it just went by really too fast. So I'm not sure that my coaching side was too great, but I had a really good coach. So thank you.
Cool. Lydie writes, could be powerful in career path reviews and talks. Yes, indeed.
Yes, I agree. Completely.
Yeah.
Or in general, somebody that just comes to you and feel that they don't know really where to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So sort of simple questions, but all the same. The simplicity doesn't make it less powerful, actually. It can make it more powerful. Cool. Yeah. And the thing about positivity, I can't remember, one of you was talking about this championing. It can be more than one of you. It can be a little bit like, the whole idea of coaching is really based on positive psychology, on this idea that actually knowing what you're good at, being acknowledged for what you're good at, it really gives this possibility to move forward, to do even the things that you might find challenging. So there's something about that positivity that isn't just a nice feeling, but in fact gives a power to move forward. So cool. Anything else? We'll move on. If not, some people are unmuted. Is that because you want to say something? Laure, Alexandra, Anne-Laure? Not because I'm not trying to discipline you. I'm really asking sincerely. Okay, cool. Then we'll keep working, and that gives us a little time at the end also to reflect on the whole thing. If we just move on, what do you say, Richard?
Yeah, that's okay.
Is anything in the chat? Yes, Lydie, they agree with you. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fine. Next is we want you to reflect on what you've been learning in this workshop, and what will and can you apply in your role from next week onwards, or from tomorrow onwards. Let's make that next week. So really reflect, have a chat. So you're not coaching, you just have a chat with a group of 3. What will and can you apply in your role from next week onwards? And that can be any of the coaching skills, but maybe a tool or something, or an attitude or a spirit that you got. And remember at least one of those that it is, because we're going to do a round to let you have some accountability with each other. So
yeah.
And we're going to give you 6 minutes, Connie, 7 minutes maybe?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. We give you 7 minutes for that.
You guys know each other. So there's both the accountability, and maybe even at this point, you can even give an inspiration to each other for something that you could even do either together or at least connected to each other. Many of you are connected to each other, not all.
So just have a chat, share with each other what you say. Hey, from next week onwards, this is what I'm going to do.
And remember, one
see
each.
you in 7 minutes.
Cool. So, we're winding down, and so the image to me is sort of standing in the doorway side by side with each of you and looking into taking these skills, taking these tools into the future. So we just want to ask each one of you to hear from each one of you a skill, a tool, might be more of an attitude as a manager, or some of you have support roles. What do you take with you? One thing that you take with you. And who is eager to speak? Let me open the floor and let someone volunteer themselves. Who would like to be?
Okay, I can.
Yeah, Lydie, go.
Okay.
And next is Linda then, I guess.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, what I said to my group is it's really the power of questioning. That is the number one thing I take out of this workshop. And looking at designing some powerful questions, and that could be applied in so many situations, not only coaching and not only as a manager with a team, but also for me as like training advisor with a internal customer or whatsoever. And and it will be a work on the questions and the
perfect.
Questioning, power of questioning.
The power of questions. Excellent. Thanks, Lydie. So, let's keep the floor open. Just those of you, when you're ready, open your mic and share with us.
Yes.
Marine.
Yeah, I completely agree with Lydie. I was thinking the same as a manager as well. The power of questioning and the fact that the differences that you ask the question can be an impact. And so for me, it's really what I get it from this.
You're taking it with you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
From my side, just it's more about the learn process. So to really remove the why question, the why questions, the yes and no, and also to avoid giving the solution to the team, and to really more request and challenge.
Do you have? Can I just ask you, because it's hard to say what not to do. It's, don't think of a pink elephant and then all you could do is, so maybe the next step is, do you have something where you're thinking, this is what I can do to mitigate?
No, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Go. Anlo, you're unmuted.
Yeah. Yes, I would say also asking powerful question and reframing. I think very often we have this difficulty to define well a topic, and by these coaching skills, I think you help the person to clarify what is the problem, and eventually in a very general topic to identify subtopic to address and potential different actions to conduct. So I found that helpful.
Excellent. So the whole process, in a way, getting clearer, being able to ask the questions that get clearer. Excellent. Thank you. À vous.
Laure,
cool.
So on my side, it's a bit like what Anna was saying. I think the full process for me is essential, even the action and accountability, because sometimes you don't necessarily do it, but if you do the whole process, then you will get all the information needed and try not to, like Linda was also saying, and all, not to give too much advice right from the beginning, and spend this time with the non-why and yes or no questions.
So really practicing those skills.
Yeah, I think practice has been helping us, and hopefully we can apply it now.
Excellent. Cool. Naquin, you had a skill, tool, perspective that you're taking with you.
Yes. So the powerful questions, that's definitely something I will keep and try to apply onwards. And I think it's really open the possibilities. So for everybody. So and the other one is the power also of acknowledging. I think we don't do that enough sometimes. So I try to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you. Who else?
If I may,
yes.
This is not exactly what I said during our little discussion, but it's what I would really take out of this workshop is that the coaching is not about the subject; it's about the person. So the thing of listening without having any prejudice is something that is really important. Even if we know the situation, even if we know what we're going to talk about, even if we've been working with this person since years and years and years, the idea of going to the situation without bringing with us all the prejudices that we have about the situation, about the person, and about everything is something that I will certainly try to apply in the work relationship.
That's a great perspective.
Yeah, and apart from that, one of the things that I was saying with the colleagues on the little group, the question of what would you need in your MSF is something that will be certainly something that I will use in my discussions with the expatriates that I'm managing, because it brings immediately some answers, actually.
Yeah. Lovely. Yeah. And you know, prejudices are assumptions. We talk a lot about assumptions. Those are the ones that we need to, don't assume.
Ask.
Ask, right.
Coaching,
don't assume,
don't
ask.
assume, ask.
Yeah. Karima, you wrote something in the chat. You want to
share? I'm not sure it's clear, in fact, what I have
go.
in the chat.
So what do you take with you? What are you thinking?
A little bit what was saying Linda and Laura, in our position as HR, and especially as HR, we are really solution oriented. And we are, when we are facing problems, or when our colleagues from the field are facing problems, we are trying to find solutions. And I think, I will try to more orient the people and leave them the space to find the solution by themselves, even if they are asking for solutions.
Right, because they are naturally, now you can all unmute. We can say it in, what is it? Naturally creative?
Resourceful?
Resourceful?
They are good, creative,
And whole,
and
yes.
whole.
And good. Yes, they are good at their jobs. So yes, thank you. Excellent. Who's next? Mathilde.
Vas-y Mathilde.
Okay. No, for me, the challenge is that as a technical support, it's hard to avoid doing things myself, but I'd like to position myself more as a support and to encourage more, not to give direct solutions, and to make sure that people I support find the solutions themselves and feel encouraged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lots of skills behind that. We had this conversation with Antoine and was that you, Alexandra? Or Marie? Anyway, yes, indeed.
It was Miss Marie.
Thank you, Mathilde. And Aurore, you had you unmuted.
Yeah, I
too.
just wanted to add following Karima, because I'm also an HRO, but I'm a new one, so I have to give support, but I don't have yet the solution. And so for me, the idea, that's what I discussed with Anne-Laure and Mathilde, is that it will be more to champion the people I need to support who are also new at their job, to make sure we can create a collaborative atmosphere together, and we know what we have to do and we feel comfortable and to do it. So that's what I will try to put in place next week from Monday.
Very nice. You are not going to try, you're going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
I challenge you. I challenge you to do it.
And thanks, I will do it.
Cool, thank you. Who's next? Who's up?
For me, it will be, so as exactly as Linda said, I will try to not say it in, as you mentioned, to think about the pink elephant, but still it's about the unlearned triangle. And the challenge, I think, is to know when to use it. You cannot use coaching each time that someone asks you a question and reverse the question. So it would be to find a balance on when to add this new skill.
Yeah, that makes great sense. Great sense. It's a set of skills in your toolbox. So you take it out when that's the tool you need. Cool. Who else?
Who didn't speak yet?
I think there's a few people left.
Benoit?
Yeah, I don't have so much to add, but I think the unlearning triangle is really a powerful tool to avoid micromanagement and to help our staff to develop themselves. So yeah, definitely I will use it.
Great.
All right.
It's absolutely allowed to say the same thing. Who do we have? We have Melody. Did you say something? And Robin?
I'll go. All right.
And Marie?
I'll go. Yeah, I think the really powerful tool or powerful mindset is one of curiosity, because I think that the more curious I am about where somebody else is coming from, the less I'm likely to give advice from where I'm coming from. So I think that's the curiosity, is like get in there and find out what this person is thinking. And then that's an easy way to not fall into the trap of giving them advice from what you're thinking.
Lovely, thank you. Excellent. So we had Marie.
Yeah, so I will, as I am also like Mathilde in a support position.
What are you taking with you?
Can you hear me?
Yep, yeah. Go ahead.
So I will try to use that when I support the field and to try to help them to find the solution themselves, a little bit like Mathilde, and also among us, among the group, maybe to challenge ourselves and to acknowledge also between us. I think it's important.
Great, great.
Beautiful. And who didn't speak yet?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Elodie. Go ahead, because we hear you, so maybe you should.
Hurry, hurry.
It's something that Quinn, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, was mentioning about the acknowledging, and some other mentioned it as well. And I would say championing as well. And I had a few people in the subgroups who did a really good job in when they were reframing the questions, or not the questions, sorry, they were reframing some of the issues or concerns. They were championing the person at the same time. And I thought that was a very powerful thing to do. And you could see actually as an observer in the body language of the person that was being coached, that it made the person a lot more open about the situation, and actually helped themselves in asking themselves powerful questions. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying, but the championing and acknowledging through the rephrasing, I thought that was really, really, in a way, a powerful questioning at the same time.
Great. Thanks, Elodie.
And sorry, I think we don't do that enough. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, it will be like definitely powerful question, but then the full process, in fact, starting from questions to challenging and actions. So it will give a guideline, not a guideline, but like how do you lead the discussion, how you lead the discussion you have with people, having in mind these different steps. In fact, I try to keep that in my mind. Yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah, as a coach, you kind of create the structure, and within it, the person is working, but the structure can give a lot. Great. Who's left? That's it? Yes, Janine?
Go. Yes, because I think it's very boring to say the same thing as everybody else. So I'm going to
tell us what you're taking with you. Go.
Yeah, it's a perspective that, like many people, I have the habit of giving advice or trying to give advice and walking away from a conversation where I had no advice to give, thinking that I didn't really have much to offer. And now I think I can more confidently have a conversation where, even if I have no clue what the topic is, I know that I can use some of these skills to offer something other than a solution. You know, so for me, that's actually super powerful and useful.
All right.
Thank you so much for adding, because that gives a great perspective. Everyone, Tatiana, did we hear from you?
Nearly, because I wanted to say more likely, like my colleagues, in terms of guidance and being more vigilant in what is being said, and yeah, easing the communication and not using this tool always in any conversation, not jumping into that travers that could be pretty annoying for our interlocutors, I guess. Somehow. That's the point.
Cool. And thank you, Melody. You agree? Checking all the boxes all the way down?
All right. Was that everybody then? Yeah, then we slowly come to a close. I'm going to share my screen for a second to show you something that you can find on Tembo. So on Tembo, you find this button, which is called Workshop Attendance Certificate. And once you click on that, you can actually create your own certificate. Connie, did they all pass, or is there some people that we withhold the certificate? What do you think?
I mean, I would say with flying colors, not just for themselves, but with each other. Absolutely.
All right. And yeah, I tried this on myself. So do you all think that I passed this workshop, or should I go back to school? Just. All right. if you have any problem with it, or sometimes a name doesn't come through, just let us know. You will be receiving or have already received an email from my colleague Holly with an evaluation. So please, fill that out. Help us. This workshop, we've done it very often in the face-to-face setting, but the online version is still relatively new. So please spend a bit of time, give us some feedback. Anything you want to say that will help us to make this workshop also better for colleagues in the future. So thanks a lot for that. Also, what we like to do now is make a picture. So we do one where you're on your best behavior. So if your hair is fine, then that will be the first picture. So I'll take it, and I'll also put that on Tembo. So you're gonna have it there. It's just a second. I need to proceed. And
all these smiles.
And secondly, maybe now you do one with a crazy face or with your hand out or anything you want to do. And we'll not put that on Facebook. So anything scary or wild, go ahead. Just bear with me.
And you, what about you, Richard?
Yeah, I have to take the picture. Sorry for that. So,
all right.
Okay, so you can later this evening can find them on Tembo. So yeah, as some of you might have other meetings, we formally have closed here. So if you need to go, just go. If you have remaining questions or remark for us, Connie and here and also Robin, we're here for another 15 to 30 minutes, whatever you need. So any question, anything you wanted to mention to us, we'll remain here for a little while. Otherwise, if you need to go, wish you a wonderful weekend and happy to be with you. And again, thanks so much for your commitment. You were an amazing group, always there, everybody. So that was cool.
I'm so surprised because I've not done this online and I feel like there's a lot of energy. And having a lot of energy on a screen, I mean, that's your work. It's lovely. So thank you for your energy.
Thank you, Connie. And thank you, Richard, and everyone else.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you
very much.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I love the icons with the festive.
Actually, I do have a question.
Yeah, sure. That's why we're here.
Yeah, this is about